Hello, watch lovers. You know what time it is. And joining me on tonight's show, I have Jonilda. Oh, shit. No, I don't. Kaylie. No, I don't. Gavin.
Yeah, you're stuck
What's
with
happened?
me.
Just the two of us.
We have literally been deserted.
They've said they need a night off. They need to rest.
I mean, don't worry, Spencer. I have had my revenge on the pair of them today.
Really?
They don't know what's in store for them later on in the show, but we did a little bit of filming earlier for an unboxing. And rest assured, everybody,
some outtakes.
anybody's going to cancel me with a few hours to go is going to bloody well get it. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well and had a lovely, lovely weekend.
Gareth, sorry.
Yes.
One question. Red Shovel, 40 today.
Yes.
Philip McQueen, happy birthday. To anyone who doesn't know, he's Red Shovel in the
watch world.
In the taskbar below.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Red Shovel. Congratulations. It's a milestone birthday. You forgot to come in and collect your free Rolex from Spencer today. That's a shame you missed it on your birthday.
Now I know why he bought something.
There you go. It's to celebrate his birthday.
Great piece you bought. Great piece.
Is Gavin going to be a bit yappy tonight? Okay, let's just put this all to rest, everybody. I will tell you, I went home and I didn't feel very well last week. I thought on a snap decision for saving my friend from eating the dog food, it was going to be very brave. I did suffer for it later. I've spent 2 days with Paul Thorpe in the last week, and Paul has come out with every dog joke in the world, suggesting different foods for me to have, asking me if I've started barking at night. So yes,
hey, Gav, it has been quite a tough week. So we had last Monday.
I spent 2 days with you.
Then you had all day Thursday in Brighton. And Paul Thorpe.
Yeah, so we've been doing a bit of pre-recording ahead of our little Christmas break we're going to be having, so we can give you guys just more of our ugly faces whilst we're away. And we've been busy filming. We did a day down in Brighton with Paul, and we did a day on Saturday at
Birmingham. Yeah. At the bike show. That was interesting.
Now, don't forget, everybody, there's a big tick button at the bottom of your screens. Please give us an upvote and give us a tick. If you don't already subscribe to our channel, why not? Come and join us. We make fools out of ourselves every single week, and sometimes you get a bit of information about watches as well. If you have any questions for Jonilda or Kaylie, email them. If you have any questions for Spencer, pop them in the comments below. Ian Nicholson, Gavin, you'll need wormed in January. Let's get all the jokes out today, everyone. Let's get all the jokes out today. That'll be great. Great to see everybody with us. I saw somebody described it in the comments as therapy. It's Monday night therapy.
Therapy for them or for us?
Well, I don't know.
We all need therapy.
Well, I don't know. We all need therapy, obviously. Now, you've got some big news this week, haven't you? The title of our episode says, Spencer becomes an AD.
Okay.
But shall we leave that to just a little bit later?
Yeah, let's...
Very exciting news, though. Who did you have to turn down first? Were they breaking down your door?
Well, there was quite a few. There's quite a few coming.
Okay, well, we'll come to that in just a little bit. But first of all, what's on your wrist, Jonilda and Kaylie? Nothing. What's on your wrist today, Spencer?
I've got something very different. And actually, I'm going to just show you the class there.
Look, well, I can see it, the cameras can't.
No, I'm not showing you yet.
Oh.
Go on, have a guess. It's not, as you can see, it's not sports.
Okay, it looks like a it looks like a Milgaus.
But the blue.
Let's take it off. Let's have a little look.
Let me tell you, with jeans, the blue with the green glass, it's a great watch.
I'm not saying I had this on last week, Spencer, but didn't I have this on last week?
No, you had the black, not the blue.
No, I thought I had the green and the blue. Oh, James, the thing's changed again. It's so annoying when that happens. I don't know. Anyway, I'll put it up there somewhere. Where's it gone? Oh, it's just useless. I'll sort it out.
There it is. It's there.
Yeah, but it's all round the wrong way, Spencer. Can't you see it? There we go. That's it, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's all gone horribly wrong again. Spencer, this week, I went into your vault and I found something very, very nice, actually. Today, I have borrowed for you a Rolex Explorer, Steve McQueen.
1655.
What year?
79.
1979.
So that is 42 years old. Not bad, 42.
42 years old. That is nearly, not quite, nearly as old as me. Let's have a look. Oh, it's round the wrong way. But anyway, there we go. And the reason why I picked that out, apart from the fact it's got orange. on the hands, and I do love a bit of orange. But yeah, it's really, really. I hadn't actually seen one of these before in your safe. Can you tell me why it's called Steve McQueen? It's obviously some film he was in.
Because that was a film that he used it in, the 1655, one of the earlier explorers with the orange hand. I mean, it's It's been about for a long while. I mean,
Greggy says, it's a great piece. Wish I kept mine. I don't know if he's referring to the Explorer or your...
I mean, some of them, you get all different variants. Some where they're washed out. The hands can be almost white sometimes.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm really, really... Thank you very much, Spencer.
That's all right.
It's a lovely wear for the evening. Actually, I've had it on all afternoon because I took it home. There is a little scratch on the thing, but it wasn't. I'm just telling you, hands up for it wasn't me. I didn't do it. And no, Ian, I didn't drop it yet. Jacob says the patina is gorgeous. Uncle Jonga, very underrated. Renee de la Pans, good evening to you. Question for Spencer. Do you still lift one leg when you pee after eating dog food last week? You got the wrong person. It was me. It wasn't Spencer. Spencer got saved. It was me. Spencer ate the sick flavoured jelly beans.
If you answer the questions right, you don't have to eat dog food. That's the move.
Well, that is the move. So James has come up with a really good idea, something that maybe you could put your comments in below. But James, who sits out there in the studio, the hidden man, he's come up with an idea for a weekly section of our show called Challenge Spencer. The idea being that you guys can challenge Spencer to, I won't say any watch-related question because I'd be screwed. But the idea being that if Spencer gets the question wrong, he gets a forfeit, which you can choose. If Spencer gets the question right, I get the forfeit, which I don't know how that's going to work, but it's something
Sounds
we're thinking.
Like a drinking game or
yeah,
something.
well, maybe we could just do it with shots.
Yeah.
We actually, to be fair, we should just do Kaylie against Jonilda.
Yeah, just
the
have
the
shots.
two of them getting
And we'll just
plastered would
have
be
to get cabs here.
absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. You got a very special watch. Last week when we were, going through all the watches, and I always coming in.
I put my hands up. I know that I didn't mention what
Every
it was.
Monday, guys, I go into BQ's offices and I say, right, what's new this week? Well, let's have a little look. What's interesting? Watches come in every day. And at the end of last week's show, Spence pipes up and says, oh, Comex came in last week.
Well, we sort of get them quite regularly.
Yeah. But this has got a special story. Let's have a little look at this. James, I'm just going to unplug this camera again and restart it. Okay, I'll do that.
The story with this, Gav,
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a story.
Yeah.
And if anyone's interested, give me a call in the office.
Hold up to the camera.
But basically, here we have a Comex, a 16610 Submariner. This, from memory, I think this was sort of 90s. And this was the son's watch.
The son of who?
The son of a Comex diver.
Right, so
both
just
the
explain
father-
to everybody who really doesn't know, but there are plenty that do.
Okay, so Comex, as people know, is in France, is a very...
Yeah, go ahead.
They were commissioned by Rolex, and they were divers, and they commissioned the watches for you. You couldn't buy them. If you worked for Comex, you were given them.
Right.
So this is some paperwork here, which we've got, some books. Now, with these watches, this is the son's
You haven't got a
watch.
cloth, have you? Because this is absolutely beyond filthy. I just happen to have one right next to me.
So this is the son's watch from the 90s, and
Yeah.
we also have the father's watch, which was in the 70s, 71.
Right.
And what we've got here is something very, very rare. I've seen one before. So this is from Comex. So that's the watch there, Gavin,
Yeah,
with all the
absolutely
markings
lovely, yeah.
on the back and the Comex dial.
Yeah.
Here is a Comex Divers Medal.
Right.
Maybe just don't display the name there.
Okay, so I'll look where that is.
Yeah. So if you put your hand over it.
Oh, my hand will be right in the middle.
There we
Okay,
go.
that's going to...
So that is the Divers Medal from 71, and we also have quite a lot of paperwork and letters from Comex confirming that this gentleman worked for Comex, and then his son went to work for Comex as well. So it's a pair of Comex watches.
Wow, that's amazing. So you've got a pair of Comex watches.
And they have got quite a lot of letters and paperwork. And here, Gavin, if you want to have a quick...
Oh, my camera's just really not behaving today. There we go. I can kind of get it in. Okay.
And there's some great...
Hold that up to the camera because I can't fit that under the under the camera.
So this is a Comex, The Conquest of the Ocean's Depth, translated from the magazines. This goes back to... There isn't actually a year on there.
Jacob
But
says
you
quite
just
a
get
cool collector's
an
set.
idea here of all of this, where it shows of the Comex divers and their markings and what they wore and where they were.
Kelvin O says, how many were made? I know that's a big question.
Again,
you wouldn't
this
have a clue,
is
would
something that people could really catch me out on. I don't know that much info on the Comex without researching it.
Yeah.
But all I do know is when I have had them, they really do have a massive following. And this is another book. We've also got letters stating that the father worked for Comex. So he worked for Comex and he had the watch from the beginning. And then this piece is the son's, and he had that from the 90s.
Wow.
And that has full box and papers.
This has full box and
Full
papers.
box and
So
papers.
can I ask you how much this sells for?
It's no.
No.
'Cause
You haven't priced it yet?
I haven't really priced it. If someone's interested, give me a call. But we've got the fathers as well and all the...
So you've got both sets?
Both sets.
Amazing. Amazing. Last year of Comex. Do you know that, Spence? Someone can Google that really quickly, I'm sure. No. I saw a question
I'd
here.
say probably late 90s.
Watches 63 asks you, Spencer, do you own all the watches you sell, or are many on consignment?
We own, I would say, 99%.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Very few. And people often ask me this. The only reason a watch is on consignment is if I feel that it's a difficult piece to sell, or it won't sell that quickly, or the customer wants too much money.
Just winding back one sec, Matt H is asking, what's the price of the Milgaus, please?
I think it's around 10,000.
Okay, because Greggy Boys replied, Matt, approximately $8,500 at the moment. You might have to readjust your prices.
What? Not
Can't
the
be
blue
that.
one.
No, it can't be the blue one.
Not a new blue one.
Yeah.
No.
Crossy Boy asks, how high do you think the Milgaus will go if discontinued?
50% price rise.
50% price rise in a straight line if it's discontinued.
I'd say they'd hit 15,000 because, again, you see big price increases on things that are quite reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And in the Rolex world, the Milgaus is quite reasonable.
Yeah. Wow. Let's go now, just really quickly, because I think we've covered that lovely Comex watch, to this week's little unboxing. Now, as I said, very late on in the day, Kaylie and Jonilda decided
They both went sick.
They've ditched us tonight, Spencer. So, in view of them ditching us, when we filmed this little unboxing, I thought I'd have my sweet revenge. James, roll the VT, please.
Hi guys, hi guys, welcome back.
Hello everyone. Let's not start this, please.
I actually can't believe that he actually forgot to press record.
He has one job.
What? But that is what he does every day. That's what he does every day. He's so good at it, but yet the one time we need him. Hi guys, welcome back.
Hello everyone.
So we just thought we'd jump on here real quick and actually show you a really great piece that's come in. It's actually one of our favourites, and of course we wanted to show you guys first. So let's get into it.
Let's have a look.
So
it's a Patek, obviously. Move that out of the way.
okay, so guys, this
That's a stunning box, isn't it?
So guys, this is the amazing Patek Philippe Aquanaut Travel Time. This is 2019 full set 5164A. Obviously, which, you know, this is such a popular piece.
It's absolutely unworn with the stickers on, so we can see the stickers on the cloth.
Yeah.
Let's see if we've got anything else to say. Is this the... Yeah, it is the watch. So it's a how do you say that?
Casual.
Casual sport watch with a second time zone function shown via fourth hand. Oh yeah, we can say that it has a fourth hand.
Yeah.
We can say that it is a 40.8, but it wears a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wears a little bit smaller.
Okay.
We don't care about the movement.
No.
That's another question for you.
Why don't you care about the movement?
Well, I do, but
it says it's a calibre 324 SCFU.
S, like, if
No
someone
one-
asked me, I wouldn't know. Like, it's silly. Like,
No one
talking about
wants
it.
to know that, right?
They, no.
I would have thought everybody wants to know what caliber it is.
No, no one gives a shit.
No.
Finished as beautifully as you would expect. Yeah, we
Love
can say
the
that
open back,
you can see
blah,
it
blah,
on
blah.
the back. And it has a power reserve of 45 hours.
Okay.
So, things to write down. Power reserve 45 hours. How many millimetre?
40.8.
40.8.
40.8. Dual time
but
zone.
it wears a little bit smaller
Than the rest.
Then
Other
you have a
Patek.
dual time zone. How can you say? It has a dual. I can't say it.
Has a dual time zone.
Dual time mechanism, dual time zone mechanism. So you're
Yeah.
able to, you're gonna, thanks to the fourth hand, you can see the local time and your home time. So you can choose two different.
What caliber movement was it?
300, whatever it said. 324,
Yeah,
there. But why would we need to know that?
Yeah.
What caliber movement would it have?
324CUVUX.
No, 3 to 4.
What is it, Jonilda? The caliber movement is a
324 C, no, SC.
Yeah.
That's a non-travel time one.
Yeah, that's so.
But these are automatic watches meant to be worn every day, so the power is important.
5 hours. Yeah.
It has a dual time zone mechanism, so you are going to be able to have two different times. So you've got your local and your home, as you can see from the dial. It has a 45 hours power reserve, which is quite
great.
good.
Yeah.
For Pateks.
And
yes.
also the cases are 40.8 millimeter, which is obviously a little bit smaller than the other ones, but it's just as good.
I think it's just the
You know.
perfect size for this kind of watch.
You don't want it
and-
too big, do you? Especially
and
with
for
everything that's going on.
You don't want it too big with everything that's going on. What? What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
I've been okay,
And
thank you.
It's 40.8, which isn't as big as the others. The other what?
No, but that's what it said on the thing. It's 40.8, which isn't as big as the other
No.
Patek.
It says it wears a little bit.
It wears a little bit smaller,
Smaller,
actually.
okay.
As you can see, it's a 40.8 millimeter, which just wears a little smaller.
But I think it's perfect, especially with this dial.
Yeah.
I think it's the perfect size.
Yeah, I think I'm really happy we've got it in stock, you know.
We really love the
Yeah.
dial. It's stunning.
So Ilda, why don't we have a look at the back, at the movement? We know how popular these are on the Pateks
We
as well.
can see the beautiful movement on the back, yes.
Oh, wow.
There you
Again,
go.
just as stunning as always. So guys, this only came in literally an hour ago, but we wanted to show you. So Spencer's just working out the pricing. We're going to get this photographed and then it'll be up on our website. So if you want it, be quick, because I doubt this will be here in stock for
It's
Christmas.
not gonna hang around.
No. Also guys, don't know if you saw on our Instagram today that Patek have actually released a new Nautilus 5711 with the Tiffany dial. We put it on our Instagram and someone actually has already asked us if we've got it in stock.
Got it in stock? I mean, no.
Will we
not
ever
yet.
get it in stock? Who knows?
But in the future, who knows?
Hopefully. I mean, they've
We
only
would
made...
love to see, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
100%. They've only made 170 pieces, if I'm honest. 170 pieces in the whole world. Will the UK get one? Who knows? Hopefully, because I'd love to have a look.
It's definitely going to be a war getting one.
Yes. But anyway, thanks guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
Have a lovely week.
Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations, girls. I believe, Spencer, that's going to be the last time they ever cancel on us because revenge is a dish served warm. And that's what we've had tonight, haven't we? Well done, girls. Actually, you did a fantastic job today.
Very good. Very
Spencer, the new Patek. James, if you can just bring up a little image of it. What do we think about this? I put it up on your Instagram
Stunning.
first thing.
Absolutely stunning.
It is stunning. And on the left-hand side is there's a little Easter egg on the back of the watch, because on the 2021, on the one, it's marked instead of one as LVMH. And obviously that must be very small on the back, but yeah, a little Easter egg. What do we think of that watch, guys? What do we think of it in the Tiffany? Yeah, there we go. James is blowing it up for us. What do we think of it in the Tiffany
Stunning.
Blue?
Absolutely stunning.
Can I say I'm actually not sure?
No,
Do I think it's stunning because it's a Patek and I'm never going to have it? There's 170 pieces in the world, isn't it? 170,
That's part of it. I think the colour is so in. Rolex have done it because of the Tiffany on the OP.
Yeah.
I think it's magnificent. And the other thing, Tiffany & Co. on Pateks, I've handled a few of them and they're worth fortunes. Just in a plain dial, just where it says Tiffany, where they've done an affiliation, to be in that Tiffany Blue and being Tiffany and limited to 170 pieces. I mean, I've had calls already today. Someone texted me just saying, "Oh, do you think you can get me one?"
Kaylee said it on the thing. Somebody's already texted to say, can we have
sure.
one?
I said, look, I think I can get one for tomorrow. I said, really? Can I come and collect it?
Yeah, so everybody's saying...
everyone, the world is after... This is the hottest piece.
Yeah, so there's a range here from 500,000 up to 1 million on this watch. I mean, it's just Banzai, isn't it? If it's only 170 pieces, it'll be what anybody wants to pay for it.
170 is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is mad. Greg says, I think the Tiffany dial cheapens the watch. And that's actually, funny enough, what I felt. Like, I didn't instantly look at it and thought, I absolutely love that. Doesn't mean I don't want it.
Let's go back when these came out.
I know a lady who would like it, though.
Let's go back when these came out.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Tiffany. It's just cool. And people can say what they like.
Also, they've discontinued this watch as well, as of this year.
5711.
So this is going to be their last hurrah with it. So, it's...
people can say what they like. It'll be a winner.
Yeah, Red Shovel makes a good point. Not sure of it either. You've got to see these things in real life. And I know if it's in real life, first of all, it will probably be stunning. It will sit on the wrist. And if you actually hold one of 170, you'd probably definitely want it, wouldn't you? Yeah, 100%. Exactly. Spencer, time for the big reveal. So, you sell watches by all brands, and you've been asked to be an AD, an authorized. You got the call.
Yep.
Tell me how it came about.
So basically, what had happened? A few people have approached me over time.
Yep.
You know that, Patek, Rolex, Omega, and I wasn't really interested. I wanted to be my own person, and I finally found an AD who wants me to be a brand, who want me to be an AD.
And with that, shall we introduce our special guest for this evening, which is Andrew Brabin from Zero West. Good evening, Andrew.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for having us.
That's all right. Great to have you. We met up with you last week, didn't we?
I really appreciate you letting me be an ambassador, an AD of your brand, and continue doing what I do.
Yeah, it feels a great partnership for us. I'm really excited to be partnering up with you, and thanks for having us on the show tonight. Really excited to be here.
So for those of you who have never heard of Zero West, which would probably be very unlikely if you follow our channel or Paul Thorpe's channel, mainly Paul's channel and Oisin, because you're very, very well represented. But just tell everybody for a quick recap where it all. I'm going to move your mic, I'm going to help you out here. Where it all kind of started for you. Where did Zero West start?
So about 6.5 years ago, a friend of mine, Graham Collins, who's my business partner.
Yeah.
I'd always see him at Christmas dues. He's one of these irritating guys that could build his own house, the sort. And we're both into watches, and we'd catch up, and he'd always be telling me that he was going to design a watch. And I never offered to help out. My background is graphics designing. I've always been seriously into watches at art college. I used to trade in Swatch watches. And one Christmas, he sent me some drawings, a 3D render of a watch, and said, what do you think? And instead of just emailing back, I designed it into an advert, designed a dial, designed him a logo. Put it into a whole advert with a chrome biplane. It looked really cool, and send it back to him and just said, look, it could look like this. The design you did was great. And he just emailed back saying, do you want to set up a watch brand? Which was a bit tongue in cheek. And we met up for a drink, and we chatted it over. And the initial idea was really just to design one watch. And as we went down that road, we suddenly realised we needed a brand around it, and it kind of grew from there. We became obsessed with it.
So this is all within 6 years?
Yeah, I mean, the first 3 years, it was literally just design. Luckily, Graham has a vendor base from his aerospace background. And it kind of evolved from there. It took quite a long time. You had to persevere, but it was massively exciting and really rewarding.
So a couple of comments coming in here. Yeah. Frank Muller says, superb watches with great storage. We'll come to that in a second. Nick Byrne, AD for Zero S, excellent news. That'll work very well for both parties, I'm certain. Kenny W, S4 Blackout H1 and TT58 on the way. There you go. There's a good punter.
Good heads up.
Jacob says, the Zero West guys sent me a personalised letter, a hat and a very cool brochure all about the history of their pieces. A huge amount of respect for them and what they do. Beautiful stuff. So we met up with you last week in Birmingham. Not in Birmingham, Brighton. I'm so lost with my time travelling.
It's been one of those weeks.
And we handled all the watches, and they are absolutely stunning. And the stories behind them all. So with the brand itself, you spent 3 years in development, then 3 years basically trying to earn your money back,
Yeah.
and getting the watches manufactured. Tell us about the sort of process. Everything's in-house, isn't it, for you as such, in terms of design and...
So we design all the watches in house, all the metalwork, the dials, the graphics, the website, photography, copywriting, the majority of everything.
If we drag all the watches over here a little bit, and then
I've got them on a tray.
There you go. Turn them on a tray, and that way you can look at them from there.
Cool.
And we'll get up to them in a second. And when you come up with the ideas for the watches, what sort of inspires you? Because I know we went for dinner earlier, and you have a pipeline ahead, and we stopped the conversation there. So in your pipeline ahead, are you thinking story first, how it's going to fit in? How does it work?
It's a combination of things that come together. We need a great story, and basically we look at a genre. So it'd be like aviation, land speed, cafe racers. We look at the kind of watch we want to design, and then we go about trying to find the right story that will connect with the watch that we can design. And it's a really long process. It takes a long time because all our watches have a latitude and longitude and date code on them. And when you cross-reference them, they take you to a moment in time.
Yeah.
Because our brand name Zero West is actually 0 degrees west. It's the prime meridian that runs through Greenwich.
Yeah.
So everything connects and everything interconnects. And we champion great moments in history, engineering, and the human element. So it's the birth of the Spitfire.
26th of July 1970, my birth. Chronicle that one.
I got it on a watch.
My birthday.
What's your favourite colour?
Yeah. Tiffany Blue.
Tiffany. Oh, so it's,
Yeah, by the way, if you want a successful watch, Tiffany Blue.
Tiffany Blue.
Tiffany Blue dial on a Zero West, and you're made. That's it. You're all in there. Sorry.
No, and so it's like the birth of the Spitfire, cafe racer, land speed, and automotive, motorsport, and then basically we research the story and we bring that human and mechanical element to the watch. So there's a whole story behind it, which makes it more than just a watch.
Yeah. Rara says, I think the Zero West and the William Wood Watch Company are both unique and cracking brands. Guys, if you do have any questions for our special guest, please do pop them in. Happy to answer everything. Crossy Boy says, love the bullhead watch Paul showed. Renee de la Pans, I would drink a beer to celebrate this great news. Congratulations, gentlemen. Let's have a look at the first watch, the CR2 Cafe Racer. Let's have a look at that one.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
So what we've got here, I'll hand that over to you.
Yeah. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, so this was an interesting watch for us because we machine the whole of the bodywork on a 5-axis machine, and the lugs are machined separately to the body, and we had to design a special tool so that we could actually attach them to the watch. Here we go. We got some special studio lighting going on.
Yeah.
So basically, the dial design is a stripped back tank stripe. Emulates the vintage motorcycles of the day, cafe racers, and the hands are drilled out.
I love the hands.
Do you like the
that.
hands?
I was saying, Andrew, I think really special.
And then we basically researched the number plates from the vintage Isle of Man TT. So the 12, 9, and 3 o'clock are vintage numerals that were hand drawn, and the latitude and longitude goes to the Ace Cafe on the North Circular. So that was kind of where the
That's
birth.
not far from here.
No, it's not far from here, is it? So that was kind of the when music and everybody rebelled in the late 50s after the war. And basically, they used to take motorbikes from one brand and another brand, and they used to basically strip them down and race from cafe to cafe. And really, this watch is to emulate that whole stripped down movement. We've got a sandblasted case, 44mm.
I mean, I have to tell you,
look at the detail on the back.
The detail is absolutely incredible across the whole watch. Let's have a look at the back, guys. Oh, you got it on the stills. Yeah, we got the stills up as well, because it's probably a bit better to see. Yeah. James, you just flick through the stills and just... But
that's fantastic. It really is, Andrew.
And you come up with all the design work on this watch.
Yeah, myself and Graham, we sit down, we brainstorm it, and it's really important to us. The detail's really important to us.
Gav, even there, look at the red button. That's what I love.
Yeah,
where
it's just stunning. Now, this is limited to 100, isn't it?
100 pieces, yeah.
100 pieces.
100 pieces. So
which is
Tiffany.
important to you, right? In terms of each watch you build is a limited run.
They're all numbered. It's really important because basically we appeal to collectors and to watch enthusiasts that love Rolex and the big names, but they want something special.
Yeah.
That's individual, that's handmade. And
Kenny W just says you really need to see these watches in person to appreciate the pure quality, guys, and that's so true. Because I'm not saying we needed to convince Spencer to sort of but it's an absolutely,
and they'll be in the office. That's the thing now.
Yeah, that's great.
We've got the collection there, so people can come and see them, Gavin.
Yeah. Night Wrist Watchman says amazing case backs, and Jacob says arguably one of the most special things about Zero West pieces is they're very rare to see in person. Paul Thorpe. Evening, Paul.
Evening, Paul.
So proud of the guys at Zero West. They deserve every ounce of success. I think is a perfect partnership. And I'm going to say that as well. Never mind the perfect partnership because you're stuck with Spencer. But I think I wish you every success with this. I know you've 6 years of hard work to get here, and hopefully you're well on your way now because they are absolutely fabulous. Let's move to the next model.
This is the new model that was released on Friday.
The TT58R Motorsport watch.
Yeah.
RRP. £3,700, and no, Spencer can't give you a discount.
Only 58 builds.
58 builds. Okay.
58 builds. Just 58 builds.
Let's turn the light back on. James, actually, probably easier if you just show them on the screen, please.
Cool.
Yeah, rather than the camera. Show them on the screen,
Thanks,
and I'll have a look at the watch.
Pass the cafe over.
Oh, the cafe, yeah.
Cafe.
James, you got that on the screen, the TC58? There we go. Talk us through this watch.
So basically, this watch pays homage to the 1958 Tourist Trophy at Goodwood. Aston Martin record-breaking 123 in their DBR1.
Right.
And we were very lucky to obtain the drive shaft of the race-winning DBR1 that Sterling Moss drove.
You got the actual drive shaft.
Actual drive shaft.
How do you go about getting a drive shaft?
You know how it is. Everybody in the watch world is really kind of open to helping other watch brands, and we've got a watch collector that restores vintage Jaguars, world renowned, and he was really best friends with the family that owned Aston Martin in the 80s, and we spoke to them about the project, and they donated this drive shaft, but only on the premise that we didn't destroy the integrity of the shape.
Right. So
we had to core the center of this drive shaft out. It was quite challenging from an engineering
Is that the drive
That's
shaft?
the drive shaft, yeah. From the race-winning car. And that car, that DBR1, the same car, same drive shaft, went on to win Le Mans 24 the following year with Carroll Shelby. So it's a significant part of motorsport history. We called the centre of that out. We wire cut it out, and then we wire cut it into discs that form the back of the watch under a sapphire crystal with a technical drawing of the famous spoked wheel.
Have you got a shot of the spoked wheel, James, on the back? I'm not sure if
the pictures don't do it justice, really, because it's kind of
there
got this...
There we go, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a shame because when you shimmer it under the light, it kind of has a
let's cut to this
holographic.
Camera. Let's cut to this camera and just see if we can have a little look at that. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and they sit. I mean, I wore one the other day. It sits really, really beautifully on the wrist. Sorry, James, I'll just put that back up for you so you can have a little look there. But yeah. Quality pieces of workmanship. Do you ever get the watches back after you first sort of cased them up or made them and go, "Ooh, hold on a second," or are they sort of model rendered first so you really know what it's actually going to look and feel like?
We model render them,
Yeah.
And then some of the watches, or most of the watches, we 3D print.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
So we 3D print them for size, and then I'll print out all the dials. It's arts and crafts. Cut them all out, die cut them out, stick them in, put a sapphire over the top, and just check for wearability. And of course, we still have the 3D renders where we can totally model it, spin it round, inside out, everything else that Graham does. So we have a pretty good idea.
You know what's coming.
We know what's coming. But
So,
but for every dial that you see,
can I buy one of the prototypes?
Do you know we've got a customer that he just pesters me, calls me in a nice way, calls me up every couple of months. Any prototypes going? You got anything in that you want to
That's
get
what
rid
I'm
of?
thinking.
Yeah.
No prototypes.
Yeah. We've got.
What would you do for a Rolex prototype now? I'll have a Zero West prototype.
But we've got a cabinet at work, and it's just got some of the development work that we've done, which is really important for us.
Yeah,
because it's what we're about as a brand. You know,
Yeah.
we're very design, story driven, so it's really important to display that stuff.
Absolutely.
So, you know.
Let's move on to the next beautiful piece, the H1 Blackout Hurricane.
This was a great watch to put together.
James, you want to get some pictures up of this? No, I'll hold it up that way while he sorts himself
I
out.
don't know if you saw the video that Usin did for this. It was a masterpiece. If you told me that he was going to sync the music to the Snowman.
The Snowman. Yes,
Oh,
I did.
man, it was
Yes, when he
fantastic.
came. And he plays the piano.
He does.
Yeah.
It's no end to his talent.
Let's have a look at. Let's talk us through this one.
So basically, this pilot watch, the dial is based on a slip turn indicator found in a Hurricane, and basically the back of the watch features a smelted Merlin engine casing from P3708 that crashed on the hardest day of the Battle of Britain, and the hardest day was designated. Came about by the amount of. Unfortunately, the amount of planes that were lost that day. And this pilot parachuted out, shot down over Foulness Island in Essex. And he ended up in a local hospital in a bed next to two of the Germans that he'd been in a dogfight with. And we were very lucky to get hold of the the engine casing for this plane, and we smelted it down at a local custom motorcycle company, and that formed the back of the watch. But we're only producing 100 of each of these in the Blackout and the silver. They've been really, really popular. Really unusual dial, but a lot of collectors have loved that aspect to it. I think Ushin said it was the coolest aviation watch pilot watch he'd ever seen.
Yeah, Spencer, just in case you're wondering, the L means left and the R means right. Talk to me about the, if we can just flick back, James, to the front picture. The longitude and latitude for that watch, is that the
that goes
location?
to the crash site.
The crash
goes
site.
to the crash site, and the date code is designated. Yeah.
Okay, so 1970. I need the longitude and latitude of Kingsbury Hospital. I'm designing my own watches. Spence, you always said it'd be good to have custom watches. Absolutely beautiful, and that one RRP's at 2995.
I just want to point out the crown. Yeah. Actually, Graham did a great number of reverse engineering the design for the crown, which is actually a scaled down fire button from the joystick.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's great. You can't quite see it from this photo, but it's got like a red button on it. It doesn't actually fire anything.
Right.
But it's that sort of detail that's really important.
Actually, James, if you cut to my camera here, I can actually show that red button. There we go. Look at that. That's without the light on, but yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Really is amazing. Yeah. There we go. That's the fire button. Fire. Next on our list, we have the S3. Everybody knows what a Spitfire is. Kaylie or Jonilda, if you're watching, Google it. The S3 Spitfire pilot watch pays homage to the dogfight over Poole Bay during World War II. Let's have a look at this. Grab those images up, please, James. There we go. Talk us through this one.
This has been a really popular watch for us. This is based on a airspeed indicator from a Spitfire. And this pays homage to a dogfight, a really famous one that happened over the Needles near the Isle of Wight in Poole Bay. And the Spitfire was downed, and we did a watch very similar to this with a bit of Spitfire in the back. This one doesn't have that, but it retells the story. And again, it has the fire button. It has a brush polish case that's all done by hand. And the engraving on the back, which we do locally to us, takes around an hour.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
So we got Churchill's famous words in there, and right down to the compass. I know it's just a small bit of detail, but the graphics with the N at the top and all the typography was taken from a compass that you'd find in a Spitfire, a Hurricane, and a Lancaster bomber. They use the same one. When you start to research all these things, you get into the dial manufacturers, and you realise over the different developments of all these different aircraft, there was sort of some.
And the P9427 was at the tail number.
That was the plane. That went down. It was a Polish pilot, Ziggy Klein. And we followed his whole story right down to where the Spitfire was manufactured in Southampton before it was down. And that we found out about this story because we did an awful lot of research because a fishing boat dredged up the engine and the propeller blade. And we had to do a lot of research, and that propeller blade was a Mark 1, and we went through all the RAF records to find out that the only Mark 1 Spitfire that had gone down in Poole Bay was this Ziggy Klein, a Polish pilot.
Roger Kenyon's asking, will you still be selling from your premises as you're only down the road from me? And I assume maybe that it means from you. You will still be selling from yours, won't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're predominantly a design studio. Yeah. We're more of an office, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, people do pop in.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah, you know.
And if you can't make your way over there, then obviously if you're in a London area, you can come and see Spencer.
Definitely.
And Spencer's going to keep stock of all these watches now.
They'll all be in stock.
And happy to. All we've got to do is teach everybody the stories. Because actually, I get why people would come to you to buy these watches, because you can historically tell the stories. So we need a bit of education to make sure these go really, really well. So that's the Spitfire. The next one is the RAF-C, which pays homage to the RAF. Let's pass these over. Spencer, you take that one.
Do you know, this one's been really popular with people who are into motorsport. And the first couple of people that bought that, I didn't really twig. And then the third person that bought one said, yeah, it's vintage GT Ford colours.
GT Ford colours.
GT Ford colours.
Yeah.
So this has got the invasion stripes. They used to paint on all the planes to stop friendly fire, so to speak. And the latitude and longitude goes to a Grade 2 listed concrete hangar just outside of Heathrow Airport. And that's where they took two Spitfires, stripped out all the guns and replaced it with photographic equipment, because they used to use bombers for or heavy planes for photo reconnaissance, spying effectively.
Stunning. And even once again, let's have a look at the back. The Spitfire with the globe at the bottom.
Yeah, front profile of a Mark 1 Spitfire, and then it's radially brushed by hand. And we designed a special jig for the engraving because it gets quite hot for the centre part that the sapphire crystal covers. But it's great because it shows the mechanical movement. And again, it's beautiful. That watch is great because when you roll it on the wrist, it picks up the light.
And once again, just to say on the button, is that...
Yeah, again, it's the scaled down fire button from the
It's a
joystick.
scaled down fire button. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. What a labour of love for you, though.
It is. Can I just mention the rubber straps as well?
Of course you can, yeah.
They're all our own design. Graham designed those. They're fantastically comfortable. They're fluoroelastomer. They're super high end. We've invested in all the tooling, and we got those made locally to us.
Right.
We try and get everything done, properly,
Yeah.
as local as possible. It's just a really important part of our brand ethos. And what's great is, when I was chatting to Spence, he totally gets what we're about and what we stand for as a brand. And for us, that is really, really important. It wasn't just being with somebody, it was being with a company that appreciated all the detail and everything that we put into what we've done, because we're fiercely protective.
Sure.
So, it's not something that we're...
Couple of questions here.
Yeah.
All watched up says, seems all the cases are 44 mil. Any plans to go smaller, maybe 40 or 41?
Watch this space. Yes,
Okay.
it is something we've been thinking about.
Yeah.
They are everything you do at the moment is 40.
He's 44. But, that's slightly misleading because the lugs, are ergonomically curved to the wrist, so the strap doesn't actually drop off the watch. And the pin to pin is actually more like a 42 that you might often find on a Omega. So
Paul says, Paul Thorpe, hope they show the bullhead, my next ZW purchase.
Yeah, that's what you got on there.
I've got this on. Do you want that?
Let's get it out. Let's get it out. It's not on my list, but let's get it out.
Hold on.
This we saw on... I'll get the camera up for this one, James.
Okay.
This we saw on Friday, on Thursday with you, and when we were in
We're just making
Brighton.
some tweaks to this, as they
Is
say.
that not in production?
It is. We're just working on one aspect of it that's not far off, but it's really close.
Talk us through this.
So basically, this commemorates the land speed, the first vehicle to go over 200 miles an hour on Daytona Beach. Sir Henry Seagrave, great British achievement. And our old studio used to be a panelling expert, used to own it back in the day, and he worked on the original land speed vehicle. And in those days, along with a lot of the motorsport, they used to attach or bolt stopwatches to the dashboards. So we designed this cradle. We've got a chronograph movement that we rotated, and all the pushers at the top.
I've sold before the Hoyer ones.
Yes, exactly.
The Hoyer.
Yeah.
That go on a backboard.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
Super
seen
vintage thing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And that was a watch that when Graham sent me the design work for, it looked great. I just said, look, we've got to 3D print this because I just wanted to make sure it wasn't, and he was right. I didn't need to question it. He's always right. And it came out fantastic. That's all vapor blasted.
I don't even know what vapor blasted means.
It's sandblasted, so matte silver. And again, that's a 44. And the engineering on that is off the scale because we've got this cradle and the cylindrical part that's vertically knurled, and the tolerance level for that slotting in to be screwed into the case back is if it's not 100%.
Wow. Red Shovel says, Cafe 2 Race has been my favourite so far. Crossy Boy says, Paul, I could be tempted with the bullhead. I own a Sunbeam car, so it would be a nice link with a speed record.
For me, Graham, it's this blue one. What's this?
That's the RAF-C. Yeah, with the invasion stripes.
I might be able to get you a good deal on it, Spence. Just saying. I know a dealer who sells them now.
saying, Gavin, of all the watches I've ever seen, these are as interesting, the backs are as interesting as the dials.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, we always thought that the backs were a missed opportunity. You get some really beautiful watches out there, and the backs, they just, it's been an afterthought.
Yeah.
And for us, especially being design driven, it was an opportunity to embellish the story, do something special. And everybody likes talking about their watches. And we found that a lot of customers that buy these watches just kind of are super excited. And they want to show their mates. They want to,
take it off.
Exactly. They want
Yeah.
to take it off. Yeah. They want to show the back.
These are not mass production watches. So behind every watch now is a story.
Yep.
You're working roughly probably 18 months in advance,
Yeah.
would we say?
Yeah, about that.
So
We've got a roadmap.
So it's a roadmap.
We've got a roadmap.
And so you're constantly thinking of ideas, and I'm going to pluck one out the sky and go, Concorde,
Yep.
discontinued model. We found a piece of a wing. or a nose cone.
Found a nose cone.
Found a nose cone,
garden,
and
dug it up.
Let's
by
get a
homage
watch.
to that,
Let's
we
get a
made
watch
it.
together.
Yeah, but is that the sort of things you're looking for? Are you like researching stories?
We're researching stories. People do approach us now.
Yeah.
And say we've got this. Would that be of interest? And we always look into it. But there's a couple of things. Is the story, how good is it? What's the human element to that story? Is there an engineering? What's the engineering aspect to it? And then actually, can we do something with the part? Because some parts we get offered, we can't actually.
You can't do anything.
Do anything with. I wish I could talk about those parts.
Nev Kashal says, are Bremont a huge inspiration for you as a British watch manufacturer who are also aviation, military themed, parts of planes and the watches, etc.?
I respect what they do enormously, and I understand the synergy and the connection that people do. We're just doing our own thing.
Yeah.
There is some synergy.
There is some synergy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally get that, and they've been massively successful. No question. Yeah, they're a good brand.
So, in terms of pipeline, obviously you can't give away what's coming, but do you ever sort of vary from sort of the motor racing or aviation? Are there other elements that could come from this, or is it?
You mean in terms of genres and places? I think so. I think it depends how interesting it is. We do, somebody approached us about a particular theme recently that was exciting on one level, but it was difficult to work out how we could design something, with a story. Because at the end of the good thing is we don't need to sell many watches because most of our watches are only 100 builds.
Ian Nicholson says, found an aviation sick bag. Can we make a watch? Ian, you're not well.
You probably found quite
You're
a
not
lot
well,
of those.
mate.
We want something that's rare.
Absolutely.
Gavin, you know what's really weird? How not that far from here, you've got RAF.
Yeah, we've got the RF Museum just around the corner.
That is round the corner.
Yeah.
And the Ace Cafe is like a 10-minute ride.
Yeah. So
yeah,
can
you're
I,
right.
can I ask you a question? Bearing in mind you're making 100 limited pieces.
Yep.
If somebody came to you with an idea and said, I've got an idea for 100 limited pieces, and by the way, I'll buy the whole pre-run off you, would you do it? Could you do it?
Well, that's really interesting. We were approached by, all I can say is we were approached by a car manufacturer to produce a watch for them, but we weren't allowed to brand it with our name. And we turned it down.
Yeah.
Not
Quite rightly.
Purely because we were trying to build our brand, and we thought we could co-brand it in some way, but it wasn't what they wanted to do. And it may, from a financial aspect, it probably was not a great decision, but from a brand point of view and what we're about, it felt that it was the right thing to do. And maybe in the future that will be reconsidered. I don't think from what I know, they've found somebody else to do that.
I mean, I'm not being funny. If Tiffany let Patek leave their name on the watch, Zero West should absolutely stay on
totally.
there with General Motors. Vox will come along, say we want a 100 run of a Vauxhall watch. But I mean, I think actually there's the business brain ticking over. It kind of makes sense. I saw something actually. I think I posted it. Somebody did an awards where basically, it was like their end of year awards, and everybody got a Rolex. Yeah. There was 25 people all got Rolexes. I don't know how they get 25 Rolexes.
Tours, don't they? Ed Sheeran. We had the Ed Sheeran. What was that watch we had not long ago?
Andrew, that's not funny, by the way.
What's
Gav,
that?
they can make you a watch out of an old can of dog food. Hey, bum bum. Red Shovel says, was it Porsche?
There are bands and different people.
Red Shovel says, was it Porsche?
It wasn't Porsche.
Okay.
It was British.
It was British. Okay. MG.
British, and that's the other thing as well. It would have to be a British thing.
Sure.
Yes, of
Would
course.
you not, looking back, the Breitling Bentley, they were given away with Bentleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spencer, nobody's asked me what this is on my desk, by the way. We'll get to that in a minute. There's a beautiful bottle of Laurent Perrier Rosé here.
I know what
I haven't given you the bill for it yet, but
I know what it is.
You've paid for it. Well, we'll come back to that in a second. Morgan would be the perfect partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good partnership. That would be good.
So if somebody said to you that you could leave your branding on there and you believed in the project, potentially, you have the capabilities to make these. And
we do. I think also something else that's worth mentioning is that because we're building a brand as well, we're ideas rich and time poor.
Yeah.
We have to be very careful what projects we involve ourselves in, and I wouldn't want to do something for a larger brand that would
stop your people getting what they want.
because we've got a strong client customer following that are eagerly awaiting a new watch or a new release, and I wouldn't want to put that on hold
for the sake of a corporate
giant.
Yeah.
For us, it's we're creative led, so it's it's about designing great watches for people to enjoy, and that's what we're doing it for.
Yeah.
Gavin, one other thing, must grab a box there. Look
Yes.
at these boxes.
Let's grab one of those.
Oh,
So if anybody's aware of things like Pelly cases, I believe that's the term for these things.
Yeah.
So this is basically a Zero West box. This is how your watch comes. All the watches come in.
All the watches come with this.
So they come in with a machine cut.
It's all custom
foam. It's absolutely gorgeous and really fitting with your watches.
Can I just say that sometimes the things that look the simplest are the hardest things to do?
Why you're telling me the foam's hard to cut out?
I'll tell you that. Yeah, that honestly, because we're just it has to be right, and we're kind of perfectionists.
And they're waterproof, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
those boxes.
I'm not saying you could drive your car over it, but yeah you'd be. I'm looking forward to the girls doing an unboxing with this.
Yeah, in fact,
you'll get a bill. They're going to break their nails.
Can you imagine? They need their lashes done. They need a bit of filler. Kaylie, I asked Kaylie what she wants for Christmas. She said filler. I didn't even know what that was. What's filler?
Polly.
Don't know. Filler. Guys, if you've got a wife or a girlfriend, they have filler. Let me know what that is. I had no clue. I want filler. I said, is that on our Christmas Secret Santa list? Do you get filler? Anyway, Kaylie, joking apart, I hope you are feeling better. She was actually a little bit poorly. And all your straps are everything's made by you, isn't it? Or even if it's put out to a third party, it's your design.
Yep, it's our design.
These are all the same, aren't they? The same sort of strap.
Yeah, they're all fluoro. Yeah, they're all fluoroelastomer.
Chili Badger says the Hurricane model is growing on me. I must say something about it. The movements. Let's talk about the movements.
We buy Swiss movements. Yeah. So the chronographs are Valgier 7750. Currently, the other watches are ETA 2824s.
Yeah.
And we found them to be super reliable and robust for the watches that we put out. I think it was really important for us we're concentrating on what we're good at and leave the specialist work to the specialists. And they're put together by our watchmaker, each one, and they're all calibrated and we have very few problems.
Fantastic.
We're very lucky.
Thoroughly. Spencer, I wish you the best of luck also selling this, because I think it's going to be a really good selling point.
I can honestly say I have no issue because these sell themselves.
Yeah.
Anyone touching or handling, and I've just looked and studied all of these.
Yeah.
They sell. They don't need selling. I mean, Andrew knows all the background and we get all that, but the finish, the quality is just exceptional.
Yeah.
And just for something a bit different, I'm just thinking, if you're on a beach or going on holiday and just want something a bit different, I think they're a great talking point, and the quality is superb.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah. Matt H just pops in with, I didn't think last week's show could have been bettered, but you guys have blown it out the water. That's probably because we've got watches on this week, Spencer.
Yeah,
we're forgetting all the celebrity dealer nonsense. And I'm never doing that again either. Just to state that for the record. But they're absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to throw open.
Sorry, can I see the last one there?
Of course you can. Yes, of course, Spencer. As soon as you're going to be selling them. Guys, don't forget, if you do like what we're doing, you can like, subscribe, share. We like to have lots of friends. We like everybody to join our Monday night club. It's always good fun. Travel and watches. Fillers are substances to be injected beneath the surface of the skin to add volume and fullness. Thank you for Googling that. Lovely. Okay, so that's ladies' treatments. Okay. I was thinking it was polyfiller. Let me just move back through my cards. We got some questions from Instagram. We're going to come back to you in a second.
Yeah, go for it.
You can help us with these questions.
Go for it.
Okay. In fact, I'll ask you the first question. This is from Rolex Electrical. He asks, what do you prefer, an AP chrono or non-chrono?
AP chrono.
AP chrono. For you, Spencer,
Chrono.
chrono or non-chrono?
Chrono. Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I also like the chrono. Jacob Kendall out. Jacob, what's the countdown now to your wedding? Can't be long now. Ball and chain must be approaching very, very fast. The panel's opinion, watches to avoid in 2022, specific brands or models. Watches to avoid.
Well, if you speak to Nico, it'll be Hublot.
Yes.
No doubt. Fucking Hublot. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Hublot. It's just like,
But I still think they're a
started
great watch for the money in a pre-owned.
Yeah. No, but we want watches to avoid. It's hard to say watches to avoid, isn't it? Well, is there a watch you particularly sell, Spencer, where you think this has gone a little bit too far now? Let's take, for example,
It depends what
the favourite.
No, it depends what you're saying. Watches to avoid because of money or gonna.
Well, would you avoid buying a Daytona at 30 grand? Still Daytona.
No, absolutely. Gav, you were in the city for a number of years.
What's going up
When
is going
something
up.
don't try and reverse
Buck the trend.
Yeah,
Don't get short.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Just go with it. What does everybody else think on that question? Actually, I think that's a really good point from Jacob. Does anybody else out there think there's a watch to avoid in 2020? Well, I'm gonna say one. I'm gonna put one out there.
Go on.
Richard Mille. I think that is an absolute. I think that's a proper bubble. I think it's a proper. I know nothing about watches, but I just think they are the most overinflated.
Yeah, the prices are
Prices are
crazy.
absolutely mental and just keep going up, and the figures just keep getting bigger, and I just don't get it. And
But
I've had one
Gavin,
on my
a
wrist.
lot of the questions we say, like with all watches, buy something you like,
Yeah.
and you're going to wear. You're not buying it for investment, and then if it goes well, great. But if you like it, it doesn't really matter what it does.
Can I tell you the problem of working with you, Spence? I'm
Go
going to
on.
be really honest
Go on.
about it. It's a very expensive hobby you've got me into.
You haven't bought something for a week.
No,
what
I
are
haven't
you
bought it
talking
for a little while,
about?
but all these. What I seriously, that watch I've got on
I'll
tonight.
tell you what. I'll see what I can do on a Zero West. Maybe I'll throw a bottle of champagne in.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I'll print Comex on it.
I really like the watch I had on tonight, and also I'm by the way Coke.
Right.
I am. That
What,
is.
the new
I've
Coke?
yeah, I've got no. Not
The new Coke.
If a new Coke comes out, but I'm talking about the older ones. I really like. I'm just marking your card for
Okay.
Christmas. Okay. Daytona is 40k on Chronext. Chronext?
What, the steel Daytonas?
Steel Daytona can't be 40 grand. Can it?
No.
Well, I'm guessing.
Well, it
I'm
could
guessing,
be.
I'm
They
guessing
were
they've looked.
30 yesterday, so they could be 40
Ian
today.
Nicholson, I agree with you on the RM Gav. Greg Rouse, Swatch. No, Swatch is never going. You can't. You've got to load up on
They're
Swatches,
priceless.
boys.
Swatch are priceless.
Yeah. Traveling Watch. Yes, Gav, I agree with you. RM. Yeah, with you on the RM. Is it because we all can't afford them as well?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
But that's the point, isn't it? What's the point of? I don't get it. I'm just. And I said I've had a white
Just
gold
going
one
back
on.
to that, you know what? So many people for years with Rolexes. When I first started selling Rolex, people say, "No, I don't like too big, too chunky. They're ugly. They're this, they're that." And then people put a Rolex on, and they think, "Really like this." And that was what went on for so many years. When I first started 15, 20 years ago with Rolexes, all the people who slagged them off was they couldn't afford them or didn't know much about them. But then once they got into them,
Yeah.
they really became affiliated and connected with the brand.
Neil Brennan makes a brilliant comment. 3,000, this is RM, 3,000 watches a year, and there's over 40,000 millionaires in Dubai alone. It isn't a bubble, but inflated, yes. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
that's right.
it is.
You know,
It's
if you're
crazy.
either from Dubai or you're a rapper.
I mean, things weigh 28
sports star.
grams, and they're like £700,000.
Yeah, yeah. Ian Nicholson, Gav, my offer is still there to buy your swatches. Ian Nicholson, I swear to God, I'm going to send you one for Christmas. I will pick, but I'm going to send you one of my swatches for Christmas. DM me your address. Timepiece Bob, next question. Not sure if you've covered this before. Jacob & Co. doesn't get mentioned very often. And that's a really good point. I've never seen a Jacob
You
&
never
Co.
seen.
in your vault.
I've sold a few of them.
Marmite?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Leo Messi got one last week for his Ballon
There
d'Or.
are some that are
which was
huge
unbelievable.
money, yeah, but a bit of a strange brand. Strange brand, I believe.
But expand. Why strange?
Because they do some very, very cheap things and very expensive things. They're a bit all over the place. It is a Marmite brand.
And
like
from the research I've been doing to my Christmas quiz, which I'll come to later, Jacob & Co. one of the oldest watchmakers in the world.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you're going to find out in a few weeks'
Okay.
time what's the oldest, but that's the sort of research I've been doing. I'm really turning very geeky. So yeah, you don't see many, do you? You don't trade many. Is it something?
But they're just, in terms of the trading price to the retail.
Greggy boy says because they're horrid.
Oh, he's not far wrong.
He's not
but
far
yeah.
wrong. Okay, let's go to the next question, which also happens to be from Rayleigh Electrical. Would you sell? This is a great question. I know my answer. Would you sell a whole Rolex collection to buy one Patek Nautilus in rose gold?
Yes,
You would.
I would. You want to see my
Spencer,
collection?
No.
would you?
yeah. Yeah.
No, I
Would you?
wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Like you build up and pray you win the lottery or something to get one.
I wouldn't.
But to sell a whole collection to buy one watch, what do you guys think of that? I'd be interested to see what everybody thinks of that. Would you, Greggy? Would you sell your entire watch collection to buy a Patek Nautilus in rose gold? Not sure. Not sure. I would at all. I can't pronounce the next name, so I'll try Laisning. to know. What's missing from my small collection? I have a 41mm sub date, a Yachtmaster 40 two-tone black dial. What's missing? Wow.
The other 48 pieces. Look, it depends how big and what you want to have in there, but there's a number of pieces you can
A
add to
GMT.
this. Oh, a GMT, a Milgaus, Datejust.
Yeah.
Some Oyster Flex. There's number
of pieces.
It's endless.
Yeah, sorry we can't give you a definitive on that one.
I mean, what we can do is send in sort of a couple $100,000 and we'll see what you got left.
Red Shovel says, yes, I would if it was a Grail piece. Kenny W says, I sell my entire one-watch collection. Greggy says, nope. Nope. Jacob says, the prices are roughly the same and you'd get an additional complication. Thomas Burnett asks a question here. Will blinged out watches become more or less popular in 2022? Not a marketplace, I understand.
The real collectors, stay away from them.
Yeah.
I think if you've got a few pieces and you want something, but most people stay away from the sort of buzz down or diamond set.
Yeah.
It's not something you'd look at, is it?
No,
No.
they didn't have much of that.
You're not going to come out with a blinged out Zero West, are you?
You might have camouflage.
bust
I might have
down.
camouflage. Yeah,
Camo.
That'd be like, camo's back in.
Yeah.
Ask Roman.
But there's
Or green.
There's no,
Yeah.
Or
there's
green.
no
Yeah,
diamonds coming.
There's no diamonds.
Everybody's just saying no, not a chance, nope. Crossy Boy, not sure I would. Nev Kosher, no chance. So that's on the no one's trading all their watch collection. Box One Watches asks, is Tudor up there now with Omega? Omega. Previously compared with Longines and the likes. What do you think?
Well, they're going after the Omega market, aren't they?
It's cheaper. Tudor's a bit cheaper than Omega. Both good brands.
Greggy, I've seen your comment. You'll have to watch
I
for
think
the
I'd
twist
be
of my
more
quiz.
Omega.
Go on, sorry, I'm reminding myself of the question now. Is Tudor up there with Omega now, previously compared with Longines and the like? Would you say so?
No.
No, I'd say Omega's up there.
Omega's right up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better brand, better case, better movement, more detail.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, we're coming very much to the end of this week's episode. We'd like to thank Kaylie and... No, we wouldn't actually. No, we wouldn't like to thank them at all. But we'd like to thank you for coming along.
No, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Thanks,
no,
Spencer.
it's been great.
Thanks, Gav.
We thought you did very, very well. Next time you come, you can guest host when the two ladies of the team don't turn up again.
Aren't you taking a Christmas break?
Oh,
I
we
can
do.
feel for you guys.
We do have a Christmas
Yeah,
break.
yeah.
You'd have to just design another 5 watches in the next 2 weeks to come and talk about those.
That's all right.
Guys, before we go, I just want to touch upon one thing. I am putting an enormous amount of work into our Christmas special. Costumes have been ordered. Decorations have been ordered. The quiz is pretty much done. And the prizes have started to be accumulated. This is just one of the prizes you'll be winning, courtesy of BQ Watches, a beautiful Cuivre Rosé Champagne Laurent Perrier 1812 Brut. This is for your Christmas table. This is going to be one of our prizes. Guys, I would love for you to take part. So far, Spencer, your mum's entered, my mum's entered, my auntie, my girlfriend. I don't even think my children have entered.
We're up to 5, are we?
We're up to about 7 people, which covers probably the first 3 prizes. So, guys, if you haven't entered, please do pop me an email to thatwatchguylondon@gmail.com. I'll reply with all the details. But importantly, and just so I don't panic and just to give me a bit of confidence that you will all come in at the last minute, in the days coming up to it, there's going to be a QR code I'm going to put out on our Instagram. You simply have to hold your phone up to the QR code and it's going to log you in straight to the quiz. You'll be able to play it on your phone live with us on Instagram. It's a live quiz. I'm going to be the quiz master. I've sorted out my dressing up outfit. I've sorted out your dressing up outfit,
That's
Spencer.
Because I won't have time. So it's
no
good that you've
need
done
for
it
you to
me.
panic. And interestingly, I've sorted out the girls' dressing up costume as well. So,
Nice.
yes, it's going to be very, very interesting. So, if
And that's on the Sunday, isn't it?
that is on Sunday, the 19th of December, 7 p.m. We are... Sorry, James? Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
in
Yeah,
the
thanks,
diary,
James. Yes, in the
yes.
diary, James.
He's washing his
Sunday, the
hands.
19th of December, 7 p.m. I hope we don't clash with any football, with any finals of I'm a Celebrity or Strictly Come Dancing for anybody. But yeah, 7 p.m. Join us live. It's going to be pretty special. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I wouldn't want you all to miss out. Matt H., I've emailed Gav, but I didn't hear back. You won't hear back this week. It's all coming out early next week with all the details and everything you're going to need. So you don't need to worry about that. So, well, actually, as our special guest, I might throw you right into the deep end. Do you know what our strap line is for the closing of the show?
No. Do you want me to make one up?
Well, you can make up Spencer's one if your Spencer's got a great one.
Is it was Spencer's one?
Spencer's.
Shall
Have
I
you
tell
never
him our
hold
one?
on a second. I got a real problem with this. Have you never watched our show?
Well, Paul Thorpe's show comes on just before yours, so I kind of
Oh, wow.
Come on, we have
Okay.
to tell him. Should we
Okay.
let it?
I think we should let him do it. Yeah. So Spencer's strapline
Yep.
is through his business. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't dealt with us yet, it's only a matter of time.
Oh,
That would make a
catchy.
good case backing, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you,
we had
so
it.
you can thank everybody for joining us and say, if you haven't dealt with us yet, it's only a matter of time. Off you go.
Okay. If you haven't dealt with us before, it's only a matter of time.
Well, it was close. We'll give you that.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, see you next week.
See you guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.